Hi, this is Maria Spangenberg from Social Ecology Student Services, and we're going to have a very informal version of a freshman orientation right now. So if I could have your undivided attention, that would benefit you and us at the same time. So we're going to go through a series of slides to give you information about our school and the services that we give out, as well as instructions on how to register for classes. So let's begin. So the objectives for today are to learn about what social ecology is, what our service is here, what we can offer you in our student services office. We want you to understand your general policies. That's important. Understand your degree requirements, all your responsibilities, and ultimately enroll for fall 2017. So we're the Office of Social Ecology Student Services. What we can do for you are a lot of things, even more so than what is listed on this page, but because we get a lot of questions, different kinds of questions each and every day, so we're able to help you with a lot of things. But for the most part, we're there for obviously the academic advising component to our services. We help you with your major and career exploration. There are a lot of other resources for you to check on that as far as career exploration at the Career Center, but you could always start with us. A lot of you will go on to grad school after you finish up, so a lot of you will come in to ask questions about graduate school and perhaps some of the requirements and various other kinds of questions that are tied to that. We help you to connect to a lot of campus resources and opportunities, and there are a lot here on campus that we want you to take advantage of. We're located in the Social Ecology 1 building, room 102, and that is 210 on the campus map for any of you who want to see where we're located on the campus. We're open from Monday through Fridays, 9 to 12, and then 1 to 5 p.m. We have drop-in or advanced appointments. Drop-in appointments we have every single day, and they last approximately about 15 minutes or so. Advanced appointments are for more detailed information that you may want or questions that you want to ask, and those are about 30 minutes. You make advanced appointments by calling the office ahead of time, but never on the same day. So you may want to give it at least a day before and call for the advanced appointments, right? We have 4 professional counselors. I am one of them. My name is Maria Spangenberg. We also have 8 peer academic advisors, who are very well trained in academic counseling and in all the other services that we provide to you. They are well trained. They are students. So therefore, you will see them a lot in your classes, perhaps. And they're a great resource for you when you have questions about classes or instructors or the kinds of material that you'll cover in certain classes. And even if you want to ask them how was their experience here as first-year students, the housing experience, the getting involved on campus experience. So they are a wonderful, valuable resource for you to take advantage of this kind of source that we have in our office. We value them very deeply, and we find them very competent and very able to help you when you walk in. You more than likely see an academic advisor, a peer academic advisor. All right, let's go on. We want to emphasize that we cannot divulge any information about your education to anyone else but yourself unless you waive that right, which you will do through the registrar's office. By law, we can't release your information to anyone but you. So if anybody calls about your classes, or if you're in class, or your grades, we cannot speak to them. So you will be the point of contact with any of the campus officials. So therefore, if you can see in this last bullet here, specific info that we cannot share. For example, we can't share your grades, your enrolled classes, your academic status. So we can't talk to your parents or anybody else who has a vested interest in your education, just so that you know. So you will need to make that you will need to prompt the questions on your own and ask us those questions so that we can answer them. Okay, let's move on. So we want you to know your requirements. They're broken down into several components. If you see this nice colorful wheel, the university requirements, which is this one big down here, UC requirements, the general ed, which is this big chunk right here. Since you're freshmen, you will be completing general ed courses. The School of Social Ecology has also their own lower division school requirements, which are comprised of this big area right here, as well as your major requirements are together in that piece of the pie. And of course, lastly, electives, because you will have to take electives to get 280 units, which is what you need to graduate with. All right. You are all incoming freshmen, so all of you will be taking GEs, especially at this point of the summer. A lot of our lower division school requirements are full, so a lot of you will be taking general ed courses. The general ed courses are broken down into 8 categories, as you see here, and it tells you in each category how many courses are required for you to complete. So for example, the writing, you need 2 lower divisions plus 1 upper division. This upper division you don't need to worry about until you're in your junior, senior year. The 2 lower division writing courses are what we want you to complete before you reach 90 units. So that's important for you to remember. All of them, unfortunately, at this point are full, so do not worry. You can always enroll in one in the winter quarter. So please do not stress over the fact that they're full. That is expected at this point. You see in categories 2, 3, 4, 5, that these categories require 3 classes in each of them. And so that way you'll know exactly how many classes you'll need to do for each of these sections. Category 6, language other than English. Most of you, or a lot of you, have completed 3 years of a language other than English in high school. And if you have and you completed it with a C or better in each of those years, then you basically are done with category 6. So just so that you know, you won't need to take a language course if that is the case. You see here in category 7 and category 8 that each of these categories only require 1 class. So this is the GE requirements that you will need to complete. A lot of you may have taken some AP courses or taken AP exams with certain scores that could count for a class or 2 of any of these. So that could be something that could pertain to you, and you'll see from your transcript which course that could be, or you'll see eventually which ones they counted for. We can talk about that when you're on campus, and you can come in on a walk-in. We can discuss that if you have a question about it. Okay, we're going to move forward. This is a form. You can print it out if you'd like. It's helpful for a lot of us, including myself, to write things down. This is just for you to practice, but giving you a good idea, the kinds of you can check your boxes off as soon as you're done with a component here in GE. You'll see here in category 3, this is just an example now. For you PSB majors here, you'll have to take the PSB 11 ABC series. You see that this will cover for category 3 already. So that category will be complete once you complete this series. So if you'd like to take another class somewhere else, in the GE categories, you can, because you'll know that the ABC series will complete category 3. So you can move on to maybe take a course in category 4 or category 2. It doesn't matter, but this is just giving you an example of what how a category can get completed. For CRIM majors and social ecology majors, and even the urban studies major, the lower division courses can count for maybe 1. Like for example, CRIM can count for 1 class in category 3. So right there's a class right there that will count for category 3. So that's convenient to know. In our majors, we only require one math class in the school requirements, and that's SOCI Call 13. That will count towards category 5A. You need to take another course in the 5B subcategory, and the third class could be either in the 5A or 5B. You will see these broken down on your degree audit later on when it's available. Right now, these degree audits may not be available because it's a little too soon, but you will be able to see and monitor your progress online, looking on your degree audit or degree works, as we call it. Either one is the same thing. Okay, so anyway, this is just going to serve as a good way of you keeping track, or you can just decide to look on your degree audit often enough so you can mentally make these check-offs in your head, or just keep monitoring your progress as you take classes and as your grades are posted and as you enroll in subsequent quarters. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. Okay, this is just a slide to let you know the major and the school requirements. We have 4 majors here in the School of Social Ecology. One of them is the general social ecology major. Second one here listed is the criminology, law, and society. Third one here is the psychology and social behavior major. And last but not least, the urban studies major. If you click on this link, which we will, it'll launch you to our website where you can look at these colorful, broken down in these colorful degree requirement sheets, and give you more information on the classes that you'll be taking in each of these majors. So let's look on here and help you with this. So here we are under the School of Social Ecology Student Services website. So if you go under undergrad information, and if you scroll down, you see here majors and minors. You want to click to majors and minors, and you can see here before I click on that, you see all kinds of things that you can click on to get more information if you'd like, especially here under, actually all of it is important. You can start by clicking anything you want, but here, as just for time's sake, I want to click on majors and minors. And this will give you a rundown of all the majors and minors in the School of Social Ecology. And here right now it's a 16-17 degree requirements. They haven't changed for 17-18, so this is pretty accurate. Let's look at the psychology and social behavior major. So here we are. If you look, you'll have these school requirements that we were talking about. This is all on your degree sheet. C7, SE10, SE13. This is the stats class that I was talking about for category 5A. Eventually, you'll go into the 194W, which is your upper division writing. You don't need to worry about that right now. You're just a freshman. 195, don't need to worry about that right now either. There's prerequisites to both of these classes, which is SE10. For PSB majors, you will complete the Psych Fundamentals series. Remember, that's the series that will count for category 3 when we were talking about GEs. They don't need to be taken in order, so you can take 11B before you take 11A, or 11C before A or B. So it doesn't matter the order. The only thing I stress is not to take 2 at the same time or 3 at the same time. They're very fast-paced. And then we move on to the upper divisions, which is something that we do not expect you to take as freshmen. In fact, we would very firmly recommend that you stay away from them until you get most of your school requirements done up here and under your belt, and the Psych Fundamentals series as well. So if you're in another major, the same theory applies, your school requirements, and perhaps anything to do with your lower division major requirements to get that done before you embark on upper division. Okay, but this is mirroring the reflects the degree requirements that I showed you a few slides before. So you can also follow it through here, or like I said, eventually on your degree works that you can access 24 hours a day. Okay, so let's move on. All right, so here we go. We just discussed this. We're going to move on to the next slide. Field study. Now you're incoming freshmen, so you don't need to worry about that for the next year or two. Actually, you won't even need to worry about it until towards the beginning or middle part of your junior year. If you'd like to get more information about that right now, which is never too early, of course, it's already by default part of your graduation requirements and part of your school requirements. You need to be at least a junior standing. You'll be working at an internship site for 100 hours during the quarters, which means it's a 10-hour per week commitment. It is required. So it isn't anything that you have a choice on, but you do have choices on where to work. As far as the internship sites, we have over 200 sites that you can choose from, where you can find one that you feel may fit your future interests, and you can even look at the catalog now if you like, and just browse through it and how many, what the kinds of sites that we have out there. Most of them are nonprofit partnerships that we have with the program. So you can look at that anytime you want. You can log into that and just browse around and explore. Okay, graduation requirements. You need to complete a minimum of 180 quarter units, and have at least a 2.0, which is good standing, on 3 to 4 GPAs. Let me just detail them here. Obviously, your cumulative UC GPA, which is the same thing as your overall. Your major GPA, which consists of the courses that you're taking in your major specifically. We also look at that GPA. You may have a wonderful overall GPA, but perhaps the major GPA is below 2.0. So we do look at that, and we do assess that and determine if there's anything below a 2.0, then you would be on academic probation. Also, the School of Social Ecology GPA, which consists of the lower division social ecology courses. There is one more here that's not listed, but is included in our assessment, and that is the quarterly GPA. You have to obviously have a 2.0 quarterly GPA every single quarter that you're here. So we also look at that to determine good standing. Time to degree. What this means, as incoming freshmen, you have typically 15 full quarters to stay here if you like. That's the equivalent of 5 years. Most of you will do it in 12. It is not required that you stay here 5 years, but if many of you are deciding to maybe add another major, or a major and 2 minors, whatever combination, and it takes a little longer than 4 years, you technically can stay here for 5 years. You stay here a 5th year. So that is what we refer to as time to degree. So most of you, like I said, will do it in 12 or maybe 13 quarters, or maybe do it in 12 quarters and maybe come back for that summer to complete whatever it was that you're still missing. This last bullet refers to basically what it means in a nutshell, that you have to do 9 out of your last 10 classes here at UCI. So you have a wiggle room of just about a class that you can take at a community college, let's say, so that it can count towards perhaps a GE that you prefer to take somewhere else, or that maybe a school requirement that you haven't completed. Hopefully you have at this point, but if you hadn't completed a school requirement, you can you can take that class at a community college and transfer it over, as long as it is a transferable class. So that's what it means for the UC residency requirements. You take the last 9 out of your 10 classes here at UCI, because you've been admitted to UCI and no other school and no community college. You're here at UCI, so you finish at UCI. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. Grading options. In a nutshell, all your required classes in your majors under the School of Social Ecology must be taken for a letter grade. You have no choice in the matter. When you register, it's already by default, the option is for letter grade. So you won't need to make any changes. Now, the second bullet here explains pass, no pass. There are times when you can take some pass, no pass classes, not for your major or school requirements, obviously. And those consist of classes that don't affect your GPA. If you pass it, it's just a passing mark. Since there's no grade assigned to that option, then there's no grade that's going to be factoring into your GPA. Understand that passing a class with a pass, no pass option means that you have to pass a class with a C or better. So if you get a C minus in a course that you elected to have a pass, no pass option, then you don't pass it. But it doesn't affect your GPA either, because remember, it wasn't for a letter grade. If you need more clarification on that, you can always refer to the catalog, or you obviously can come in and talk to us so we can give you more of a detailed explanation. But that is really what the crux of the policy it means. Now, down here, the policy, you're only allowed to take 12 units, in other words, 3 classes, that are only a pass, no pass option towards your 180. So if there are classes out there that are only pass, no pass, they have no other grading option but pass, no pass. You can only take 3 courses of that. For courses that can be a grade or a pass, no pass, you can take an average of 4 units per quarter. In other words, 1 course per quarter. If the class can be, if you had a choice between a grade or pass, no pass. Again, if this is not clear, come into the office and we can explain it even further. This is a program that we have here that's unique to the Social Ecology Office. This is for new social ecology students only. It is a commitment of 1 year. You earn 2 units of what we call an SC 198 course each quarter. So you'll be able to enroll in this SC 198 each quarter of the year. You earn 2 units. You have a peer mentor during your first year. So you're going to be mentored by somebody who's been in the program for at least a year or 2. So you're going to be guided and you're going to learn quite a bit. What it consists of is that you're going to attend workshops and you're going to participate in development and service learning programs. A lot of the students go out in the community and do volunteer work. It is a wonderful opportunity because you're under the School of Social Ecology, and that's what social ecology is all about, is for community and civic engagement. So this is just a supplement and an addition to enhance our program here. It is not mandatory, but I emphatically recommend any new student getting involved in that. If you are interested, then there will be an email sent out sometime in September by Alejandra Garibay, and because she is the coordinator of this program. But look out for any emails that have anything to do with Access Social Ecology if you're interested in participating. The application is online and due September 15th. If you want to explore more and getting more information, you can certainly call the office. We are on a lot of social media. You can follow us on these different platforms if you'd like. Feel free. On to student responsibilities. There's a lot of things that we're going to expect of you, even coming from high school. There's a lot of adjustments to be made, but we want those parts of those adjustments to be being knowledgeable of your responsibilities. You're going to experience a greater independence here. It's not high school anymore. Nobody's checking up on you. Nobody's checking on your grades. Nobody's checking on your curriculum. So that is why we're emphasizing to you that you need to know your degree requirements. You need to ask questions. You need to be proactive. Please do not leave things to the last moment. You're going to find yourself in a hole if you do, especially when it has to do with classes and approaching deadlines. Keep track of all the deadlines, by the way, because we are very strict here in the School of Social Ecology, especially when it comes to dropping classes past the deadline. We're going to put you through some rigorous accountability if you do miss a deadline, and we're going to ask you why. We're going to ask a lot of questions. So be responsible for your own actions and expect the consequences when things are overlooked or even forgotten. Now, the excuse of not knowing, the excuse of not remembering is not extenuating. So being responsible for your actions and their consequences is part of all that, unfortunately, because I didn't know or I forgot is not extenuating. These are the things you need to know and not forget. All right, the enrollment tools that you're going to use basically are emphasizing using the general catalog. Get used to referring to that if you have questions. If you're home and you can't come into the office, if you need more clarification, of course, get online to the general catalog. We don't have a physical copy. It's all online. You can access it anytime. The same thing with the schedule of classes, and the same thing with WebReg. This is where you're going to get a lot of your questions answered by looking in general catalog. Get yourself familiarized with at least the requirements for your major. At the very least, the requirements for your major, perhaps the deadlines to drop a class, the deadline to pay your fees. There are a lot of deadlines, so please make it a point to be cognizant of those and to adhere to those deadlines as well. WebReg is the third bullet here. This is the actual tool where you're going to add classes. So these three enrollment tools are the big ones, okay? All three of them can be found in one place by going to this link, and we're going to open it right now. Okay, so see how we're already launched into the University Registrar website. So you see here the schedule of classes, you see the general catalog right here, and you see WebReg right here. All here so that you can, access at any time. I also want to point out that there's a lot of more information here in Registrar's website. You can see here under students, there is a timeline of when we lift certain restrictions, when the campus is closed, when registration fees are due, and when instruction begins. There's information on faculty and staff. You don't need to worry about that, but this is also where you want to go and check other things. You want to go to, let's go at the schedule of classes. Let's go and launch that up. Here we are. If you see here, the fall 17 quarter is already up. You don't need to go in and pick it because it's already on there for you. And you want to look for classes by their department. So, for example, if you are a criminology, law, and society major, you're going to need to scroll down and look for that acronym. So it's a crim major department. So you want to scroll down. And here we are. This is the crim law. So it's criminology, law, and society. So you want to click that and display web results. This is going to show you all the classes that are being offered for fall quarter under the criminology, law, and society department. So here we all are the classes. The C7, this is a school requirement. This is another lower division major requirement. As you can see, there's still some room in these courses. There's no wait list for C7. So if C7 is something that's open, I would recommend that you take this class. It only means you guys. You are all new students, so they're restricted right now to you guys. So you want to take advantage of any course that's available that is lower division. You see these classes right here, the C100, C101, those are upper division. Do not take any upper division courses. In this case for fall quarter, C7 and C10 look like they're still open. So if you find a spot for yourself, get it. No more than 3 classes either. So if you want to take C7, you're able to get C7, wonderful. Make sure that you write down or actually write down the code here. This is the code that you'll need to put on the WebReg tool to actually enroll in the class. So if you find any of these classes, either one open, take them. We only want you to be enrolled in 3 classes. So let's say you get C7. What other 2 classes can you take? You can take 2 GEs. Remember, you can look at the GE list on the catalog, see what's off, see what's there that would count for any of those categories and see if they are being offered for the fall quarter. Not all those classes are going to be offered, but they're going to still be listed. So don't get that confused. Every quarter is different for different offerings. So you're going to see the differences as you stay on here and complete courses and enroll in subsequent quarters. Okay. Now, if you want to go back, we can go back and look for the PSB majors. You want to go to that department. So I'm scrolling down. And here we go. This is it for the PSB majors, psychology and social behavior. Make sure you get the right one and not psych. This is a different department. This is psychology. We're the psychology and social behavior. You want to click on that. Display web results, and it's going to give you all the classes offered for fall quarter here. Okay, a lot more for PSB. Remember, these are per division. Don't even think about this right now. So we want you to focus on any class that's available for your school requirements. It looks like a lot of them are full, so you won't need to do that thinking of trying to get into these classes because they're full. As you can see, some are waitlisted. This one is full. So, take the overthinking away from your brain and don't even worry about it. You will have plenty of time to take the SciBay 11 ABC series. So you're going to concentrate perhaps taking GEs. Okay? So this is how to get to the SciBay department. Let's go back. And for anybody who's urban studies, you want to go down to urban studies. Actually, excuse me, that is under SOC Ecol, social ecology. So let me launch that. And here are the classes that are offered for fall 2017 in the urban studies department. Some of them are lower division school requirements, okay? Remember, some of them are in different departments depending on the department. SC10 happens to be in SOC Ecol 10. The SC13 is SOC Ecol 13. Remember, the key is to get to the department, the acronym that fits the department, okay? Remember, nothing at the 100 onward classes that are numerated 100 onward. Those are up division and you're not going to go there, okay? So let's go back. So here's the schedule of classes, okay? This is one of the websites, the tools that you'll be using a lot. So you're going to have open about 3, the schedule of classes, the catalog, and WebReg. Let me go back to the WebReg one now. Here's WebReg. And since I'm not a student here, I can't log in, but you press this button right here on Access WebReg. It'll ask you to log in. And remember, when you have looked at the schedule of classes for all those classes that you need for your major, you're going to you will have already written down the 5-digit course code, and that's what you're going to be putting on in this WebReg tool. Okay. Now, if you're having a problem, you can always email the office. However, play around with it, because it may take a while. It may take you a couple times to get used to it. It's something new. Don't get nervous. You're going to find that when you enroll for winter quarter, you're going to be an expert at this. It's just that you've not done it before. So since I can't get one there, trust me, you just want to make sure that you have all the 3 windows open. You've got your course codes already written down, and also some other options if these classes are full. And then enroll and look on your study list. Now, if you want a tutorial of WebReg, you see here on the registrar's website, there's a video tutorial of the WebReg. That is a very good tool for you to use in the meantime. Like I said, play around, explore as much as you can. Just get enrolled in 3 classes and then go back and look at more things if you want. You can make changes to your schedule if you'd like. Just make sure you don't enroll in more than 3 classes. That's all we're asking for. Okay? There's also weekly planner down here, login help if you have a problem logging in, hopefully not. The schedule of classes, helpful tools for that. So that's going to help you too, understanding the schedule of classes. So you have a lot of things here that you can look at. Okay, but remember, these 3 enrollment tools right here are what you want open right before you register into classes. Okay, let's move on. It's helpful to make a schedule. We explained this form earlier. You may want to write down some of the classes that you took through AP or IP, all these things if you want. If you're one of those that likes to write everything down to keep track, and that's the way you keep things organized, go for it. Again, this is just the color-coded school major requirements that are available to you. Excuse me. We also have them available if you ever wanted just to pick one of these up at the office. More than happy to give you one, and so that you can have and you can refer to. Remember, you'll have a degree audit, which very much mirrors each of these major requirements on your degree work, so that you can monitor your progress there too. In fact, we want students to get used to the degree audit format so that they are visually, seeing and getting used to how the format is on there. It's easy to follow. Like I said, your first year students, if you need help with that, come into our office. This is part of your responsibility to ask the questions so that we can help you. We know it's your first year, so there's going to be a lot of questions. We want to get you in the right direction. Don't be shy, okay? Okay, well, this concludes our presentation. Let me just put this back on. Do your best. Remember 3 classes. And welcome again, and we'll see you in the fall. Thank you.